Recording in progress, you guys. All right, so let me hit you guys with a little something before we get started. Before I start, figure we start out. Let me let Sarai in the room really quick. All right, cool. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so something about Stevie Wonder for me gets me going. One of my mom's favorite artists of all time. And yeah, so I just thought I'd share that. I saw that on someone's, right? Gabrielle, I'm down with some karaoke. So just to let you guys know, I do the meanest Humpty dance that you've ever seen. There's one other person that could do the Humpty dance as good as me, and rest his soul, Shock G. No, I'm sorry. Shock G was the only other person that could do Humpty dance as good as me. So come at me, bro. I'm saying come at me to anybody.
I'll give you a run for your money.
Okay, all right. All right, well then.
Challenge.
Yeah, I'm down for this challenge. So Gabrielle, you threw it out there. I'm absolutely up for a karaoke fast session. So, all right, guys. So inquiring minds want to know, what the hell was I doing in Alaska? Well, let me let a couple people in the room, and then I'm going to share with you guys. Now, I'm not going to tell you everything because we would be here for a very, very long time. But what I will tell you, and what I will share with you, is something that is really, really obviously near and dear to my heart. So just want to warn you, some of this stuff might be a little bit emotional, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't share with you guys, if I wasn't a little bit vulnerable, because I ask you guys to be vulnerable at times. And so I'm going to share something with you. So, okay, so let me take my thing off of Bluetooth. I'm like all like shaky. It's so weird. All right, so I have a 4-year-old daughter. Her name is Lily Rose. She's actually here with me right now. She is sleeping. Silas is up, and they are getting ready to play. We're gonna go to a cool place with water slides for the day. Well, my daughter's 4 years old, and I've never met her. Crazy long story. Her mom, for whatever reasons, and I don't want to say too much, obviously, left with the baby and left to Alaska when she was 8 months pregnant, and like tried to hide on the face, off the face of the planet. I went through lawyers and private investigators and all these things to find my daughter, and finally I was able to find her and meet her, and we had never met, and this was the very first time that we met.
Wow. It's your daddy, Lily. Yes, it is. My special happy birthday too. Happy for you guys.
Thank you for like I'm shaking, you guys. Like, so she literally ran into my arms, and like it was something that I needed in my life. It was something that she needed in her life, and had some lunch with her mom and said, hey, the past is the past. I'm here now, and this is what needs to happen now. And she's like, listen, I think that it's best that, you know, you spend some time with her, and if you want her to come to California with you for a couple of weeks, she's like, I'm okay with that. I was like, well, cool, let's go to the notary. I want this shit in writing. And so she's here with us now. She met her brother, she met family, she met Jen's daughter. We've been swimming every day. And she is the cutest little kid that I've ever met. Sorry, Silas. And she's 4 years old, and she is just so me. It's crazy. Like I thought my son was me, but
how old is your daughter? How old is your son? Sorry to interrupt you, but how old is your son?
Son's 3. My son's 3, and you guys know me. I'm a very active father. Couldn't imagine not being in Silas's life. Like, and so it's like a piece of me has always been gone, and I don't lead with that shit. I don't share with everybody. You know, that's a really, really deep conversation. I'm having this because you guys are my people, and so I wanted to share this with you. And she has energy and like emotion, and she's the sweetest, caring kid, and like her vocabulary is so good. And so I'm here. My mom's coming up. Hello. Hey, Teresa, can you put yourself on mute? So yeah, so she's here, and I am very, very stoked. And so that's why I was in Alaska. So it's just been a pure delight having her here. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you guys. I don't want to get too emotional, which I already am, but yeah, so thank you guys for all the messages. Thank you for the shout outs. I think I FaceTimed Cynthia. I was just like in this like complete awe, and I still am, and I'm just still getting to know her, right? I'm still getting to know her, and it's going to take some time, but now there's going to be some defined lines of when I have her, when she's here, and heck, she might be here full time. So who knows what the future holds, but thank you, Lauren. Thank you, team. I really appreciate all the support, because you guys know me. It's not like me to miss coaching, but for family, when I have to take care of things like that, I definitely will. But you guys kicked ass last week, and you guys still stayed focused and still did your thing. So thank you. And I just want to share that with you. So enough of the mushy stuff. I just wanted to fill everybody in. But while I was away, I talked to some people, and it was crazy. But let me tell you what happened while I was on the way back. On the way back, the day before we were due to leave, I started feeling really, really sick. And I'm like, fuck, is this Corona sick? Is this regular sick? Like, what kind of sick is this? So I leave at 11:26 from Alaska and was due to arrive in Oakland at 6:30. Well, I had a layover in Utah. And during my layover, literally that part of the trip was a complete haze. I probably had over 100 temperature. I'm sitting there sweating inside of my mask. My nose is running. It's soaked. I'm sitting there, and like, I have a child with me. I'm like, oh my God, I feel fucking awful. I mean, I felt awful. Well, we get to Oakland. I get my stuff, and you have a little kid in her pajamas trying to get her changed, like go through, get my stuff, go out, get an Uber. And I was like, all right, before we leave this airport, before we do anything, COVID test. So when got the COVID test for her, she's 4 years old. She's never been vaccinated. Got a COVID test for myself. Well, she is deathly afraid of anything going through her nose. And so here I am, hey, I'm your dad, and trying to do the thing. Like, oh my God, it was such a battle. So we waited there. I said, we're waiting at this airport for the next hour. They said, we'll have the results to you in the next hour. And obviously, COVID free, but how to deal with that. And I was like, oh my God, one thing after another, because can I imagine doing this reunion with everyone and like my mom and nobody able to see us because we're on lockdown? What a horrible trip that would have been for a 4-year. Anyways, we're good. I'm feeling a little bit better. On the trip, I met this guy when I was in Alaska who did a 2,500 mile bike ride. How many of you are cyclists? How many of you guys ride bikes? I've done a 20-mile ride, 25-mile ride, maybe 40-mile ride. I'm like, cool, I feel really accomplished. But can you imagine going from Canada to Mexico and having to map that out the whole entire way? And like what that does to your body, what you have to do, what you have to pack, what you can't pack. Like her name is, what was their name? I forgot. So his name is Sean. So all the way from Canada to Mexico. So like 2,500 miles. And he was telling me, it's like those downhills, man. He's like, you earned every fucking minute of it. He's like, I'm talking crazy inclines, like camping out in the most seedy places. It's like, I had to camp out in bathrooms at rest stops, like whatever it took. But he's like, I was just alone with my thoughts. It's like, sometimes the music wouldn't work, obviously. And so you're out there just alone with your thoughts. And he's like, one of the most rewarding things for me was the downhill. He's like, because I earned every single downhill that I took. And I was like, man, he's like, how freeing is that? You're grinding and grinding and grinding for 100 miles. And then finally you get a chance to just rock it downhill. He's like, you earned every single minute of that. And I was thinking about you guys, and I was thinking about like, what makes you guys great? Because this guy told me a story and what made him great and all the stuff that he did behind the scenes. And so what I wanted to do today is I wanted to ask you guys, because I didn't see you last week. I didn't hear from you last week. I wanted to know, we set our goals on Monday. Obviously, you've had a week to accomplish everything. I want to go around the room and I want to find out what truly made you great last week. What made you great last week? Whatever that is, whether that was your parenting, whether it's on and off the field, whether it's the calls that you made, the listing agreement that you took, the contract that you got in, or the buyer that you got in the contract. What made you great last week? And so I want to go around the room. I want to hear from you guys. And if you don't have something to share, then time to do something different, right? Because every single week there's something that we could do to share to say, you know what, this is what made me great last week. So I'm gonna go around the room. I'll start out with my squad leaders because she had some major accomplishments last week. So I'm gonna go over to Cynthia Peterson and I'm gonna have you share with us what made you great last week. So take it away.
Oh, I love this. What made me great last week is we got to launch Mighty Network, and that's a huge deal. And it's live. It's totally live. All the videos are there now. And I got a new mentee. I'm going to be mentoring Marnaz, and I got a buyer in the contract, and we're getting a listing signed. So, and I was just crying last Monday about how deals weren't coming in. So it can flip on a switch for sure.
That's right. That's right. And you guys, I think this is a really true test of what is possible in this company. Cynthia came to us from another brokerage, a great brokerage, would never say anything bad about them, but she had felt like she was at kind of like a wall or maybe a plateau and said, well, I want to focus on my production. I want to get better. Well, focusing on her production allowed her to get on a flex. Us seeing her shine on flex gave her an opportunity to be a squad leader. Then Mighty Network came on, and now she's on the education committee. So her career has truly blossomed. And now she's a mentor and you know, nothing but great opportunities moving forward. So, you know, these are a culmination of all the things that she has been doing and all the things that she has wanted to do. So Cynthia, great stuff. Let's go over to Lauren. Lauren, what made you great last week? Let's hear it.
Thanks. Let's see. Last week was pretty productive. I was really proud of myself. I had kind of a crazier week the week before, and I didn't really get out a lot of working out in. So I just felt very anxious coming into this new week. So I said, you know what? I'm going to work out for myself at least 5 times a week. And I did. So I was like, okay, great. Checkbox. I also went and showed a property in Newark to a potential new client, which would be great if anyone knows of some new developments in the Newark area. They're looking for brand new. That'd be great. And I also held an open house this weekend and have a potential lead from there as well. So all in all, it was good.
Love
Just
it.
working on my patience.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes you got to be patient, right? It's like this business. I know we want it. We're doing all this hard work behind the scenes, and sometimes it's just you don't know how close you are. It could be that next phone call. It could be that very next client that says, "You know what? I love it. We want to make an all-cash offer." Okay, I'll put that together right now for you. It literally happens in a blink of an eye. And I called it, you guys. I said within 90 days, this agent would be in contract. Christina Darrow, let's talk about what made you great last week. So Christina Darrow, take the mic for a quick second.
Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Good, how are you? Sorry, I'm stuffing my face.
It's okay, I'm well. So what made you great last week?
Lots of things. I raised a lot of money at the Aria Golf Tournament. I went on my first listing appointment that I took Christina P with me on, and we're probably gonna close that this week. I'm putting in an offer tonight. What else to do? And I got into my first escrow.
Wait. Hold on. You just kind of taper. You taper off on the end. Let's speak on that. You say that for the people in the back of the room.
I hit my goal of getting into my in escrow before Dallas.
Beautiful.
On Friday.
Awesome. Congratulations. And you know, somebody, you know, Lauren, alongside with this, it's someone that's had to exude some type of patience, right? We want the world and we want it right now, right? Well, sometimes the world is not operating at the same speed we operate. And so that patience game is super, super important. So good job to you, Christina, and love that. So let's go over to somebody else. Let's go over to Brianna Wilson. Brianna Wilson, what made you great last week?
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for sharing that about your daughter. I got really emotional. I'm really close with my dad. So just thank you for sharing and being vulnerable. That was amazing. So what made me great last week? I had a really good buyer's consultation with someone who I met at an open house, a lead who I met at an open house, and just continuing to follow up with him. And finally, we got a buyer's consultation, and the feedback was it was really amazing. So we'll see. I don't like to what is it? Count my chickens before they hatch. But he gave me really good feedback because I put like graphs and numbers into my buyer's consultation, and he's a numbers guy. So he really appreciated it. And he said that, you know, none of the other realtors that he met with had any of the content or any of the explanations or anything that he's ever experienced. None of them had ever had that. And so he really loved it. Great feedback. I went on a showing with some other clients, and it gave me some insight into buyers' emotions and how it can be very emotional. And yeah, my clients, they actually started arguing in front of me, husband and wife. They got into a kind of like, not a heated argument, but it just let me know that, you know, everybody approaches the situation differently, and they're very emotional about home buying. It's their first time buying a home. And so I reached out to them afterward and said, you know, hey, let's connect and let's make sure we're on the same page. And they were really appreciative of that. They apologized for kind of arguing in front of me. And I'm writing another offer tonight for one of my other clients. So it's been a good week. You know, having to have patience, but I feel like it's been a good week. I'll slowly get there.
I love it. I love it. And, you know, welcome to your career as a couples therapist, because there's times, right? I've been with clients like, all right, guys, what's going on? What just happened? Let's talk about, and I love how you circle back like, all right, guys, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page, because we do have to act as a therapist sometimes. So Brianna, really, really good stuff. And I appreciate you sharing that. And the fact that your client gave you a compliment that this is so thorough and thank you for doing this. For most of the people in the industry, a lot of people are not doing a full buyer's consultation. They cut that piece completely out of their presentation and their flow, right? We have been taught from day one, do a solid buyer's presentation, lock them in from the moment you have that communication. And I've only seen this work. Shout out to Jeff Phillips. We launched Mighty Network, and he created one of the videos in Mighty Network. I was like, my man, like, look at this. How great, how great. So Brianna, love that you're doing it. I love that you're adding your own flavor to it as well. Let's go over to Damian. All well in the Damian household. Let's hear from you, my man. What made you great last week?
What made me great last week was finally getting the listing, my listing live out in Valley Springs. So we got that up and running. My first listing in a couple years. So that felt good to get that off of my back, because no matter how many times you do these things, I think there's still an amount of anxiety attached to transactions and just preparation in general. So it was cool to get that off the ground and actually get people responding to the listing and showing some interest. So that was good. Had challenges with this one buyer that I have in contract. I couldn't get an appraiser. Well, the bank couldn't get an appraiser until like maybe days before the closing date. And I was stressing big time, thinking, you know, the other side might try to cancel and we don't have any contingencies. I don't want to lose my client's money, but I was just panicking for no reason, because all the factors involved, they don't want to back out just as much as we don't. So all is well in that world. So that was definitely a win. And then on Friday night, after a 10-year hiatus, I performed with my friends over at New Parish in Oakland. And that felt really good.
Dude, I saw your pictures, bro. Like, I'm looking forward to coming out and supporting. Like, man, love it. Looked like an incredible show, bro. How'd you feel?
Oh man, it was so much fun, and it's way better for a performer when you can't really see the whole crowd. So you're just basically performing to the lights, which was really cool because it was just me and the lights up there and all my friends behind me. So that was cool. But it was their first full capacity show since the pandemic started, and it might be the last. But because of, you know, everything going on, but it was fun. That was
I love it. And hopefully maybe we should do like an open mic night, like a Team Fast open mic night, because I know there's so much talent. I've said this before, but like do our own mic show. I think this would be dope, but good stuff. Let's go over to Mirnaz. Mirnaz, what made you great last week?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm grateful. So last week. Actually,
Hey, Mirnaz,
I was
Mirnaz, we're gonna come back
assigned
to you.
to for.
Mirnaz, we're gonna come back to you because the audio is it's not coming in really clear, but I'm gonna go to Kyle. Kyle, for you, my man, what made you great last week? Let's hear it, bro. Hit us with it.
Oh, yeah, man. Been writing down all my stuff every morning when I come into the office. Got not one, but 2 listing agreements signed last week. So let me get a hoop ya.
Hoop ya!
Uh-huh. And then picked up 2 solid buyers. Got another listing appointment coming on this week. Haven't set it down yet, but it will happen. Patrick Neeson and I are going to throw down on it together and kill that dragon. You know what I mean?
Oh, wait, so you and Patrick are partnering on a deal?
Yeah, we're going to, because I couldn't show a place in Discovery Bay last weekend. So I was like, dude, I mean, she's got to buy and sell. Let's do this thing, Mad Dog. Slay that dragon. So, yeah, we're going to go in on it and work this baby.
Oh man, I love it. And you guys have totally different approaches. You're gonna speak to the client from different angles, which I absolutely love. So good stuff, bro. And I was just hoping that on a Monday morning, bro, that you could bring a little bit more energy. Let's really focus on that for next Monday, because the energy that we give out in these environments is really important, Kyle. So let's just really harness that and focus on that for the next round, okay?
Next time, man. I'll bring the heat next time.
Woo! You know I love you, bro. Let's go over to Miss Donna Chan. Donna Chan, what made you great last week? Let's hear it.
Oh my God, welcome back, Elias. Last
you.
week, my team and my ARIA family made me really great. I still have no voice from it all, but I'm able to spend some time with my family here in Reno. And I have my team helping me cover my open houses. So it's been amazing. And Mighty Network, I was able to scroll through that. You guys, the new agents, take value of that. Thank you, Cynthia. It's so amazing. I wish we, as new agents, had that for us. It would just have broken so many roadblocks for us. So we, paving the way for new agents to be successful is what it's all about. So thank you.
Oh,
iPad.
hold on. Somebody, Martinique, can you mute yourself?
Oh.
Donna, so hopefully you get to see some cars out there. I know it's hot August nights, but let's talk about that for a second. If you guys have been in this game for say 5 years or more, a lot of traditional brokerages focus like this. Welcome. Cool. Do I have an office? No. Do I have a place where you can sit? You can sit over there. Cool. If you need some help, knock on my door. Figure some shit out, right? Don't talk to us unless you have some production. How many of you have ever been in an environment like that? If I don't have anything, I'm not allowed to come to you guys. I want you guys to really unpack everything that you have with this company. When it comes to the coaching, when it comes to Slack, when it comes to Mighty Network, when it comes to mentors, when it comes to, Flex, when it comes to all the resources, when it comes to High Note, when it comes to, Real Scout, the things that are paid for you by the company, and all of these things that you guys have. Stop sometimes. Be grateful for everything that is around you, because I promise you, there's so many other companies out there that do not offer everything that you have at your disposal, at your fingertips. So let's continue this conversation. I'm loving what I'm hearing, you guys. Let's go over to Alyssa Joseph.
Oh, hello. This is my first time coaching, so.
Well, welcome. I know it's a little bit more of a little different of a session, but that's who we are, and we're a little different.
No, that's okay. I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
So my reason
What made you great?
that I was great for last week was officially having my breakup conversation with my brokerage, and I got to shoot Kenny the text this morning that I'm officially ready to onboard.
Awesome. Well, welcome. And I know those conversations are tough because there's a sense of loyalty. It's like, oh my God, it's a little scary, changing, and I have to do all the things to sign up or to switch my brokerage. So Alyssa, good for you. And what were the reasons? Why did you join our team?
For me personally, even though I had a mentor and she's a close family friend and it was nothing with her, I was feeling a little on the alone side. I felt like an odd man out in my brokerage. It was definitely much more for top producing agents. It wasn't very too new agent friendly, but your guys' energy is just insane. So I'm a product of my environment and I appreciate that. And I thrive off of that. So that was a huge thing.
Awesome. Well, welcome. We're looking forward to supporting your journey, and glad that you made the decision to come here. Let's go over to, I was just gonna put, let's go, Ernesto's ready. I can see it, man. He is always ready. My man, I love your content. Here, let me open that banana for you, son. Ernesto, what made you great last week? Silas, let me open it.
What made me great last week, I have a really cool opportunity locally where I may be able to take over a listing for someone. And I just thought about like how that even came on my plate. And I'm a firm believer that I just love to give. I just love to give and just offer value, even when there's really nothing in it for me. So long story short, there's a troubled listing in East Oakland, and I spoke to the agent and learned that she's not even from the area, and she's just kind of frustrated with the entire experience. So we're gonna, I think, finalize it today and formalize it where I would get the listing, and then she just becomes kind of a referral. So it's cool to see that, you know, something good come your way just by offering, you know, support to someone who's not even from here. So I would say that just continuing this mindset of just being a giver, and then, you know, also connecting with Cynthia. Cynthia and I bounced some ideas about some videos to record. So I'm going to record a video this week with a TC, just looking to add value at all times, and good things are coming my way.
Love it. And you know what? I remember talking to Ernesto a couple weeks ago. I'm like, man, and I watched his YouTube videos, and I was like, we got to get this dude to record some videos for us. So I love it. And I think that that's a great opportunity. If there's something that you guys speak very intelligently about, something you're passionate about, connect with us. We would love to get you on video. And then those are things that you guys could use, you know, when you're attracting other agents to the company, like, hey, this is what I've done. This is what I've contributed to the company. And that's part of your legacy. So Ernesto, looking forward to, you know, seeing you on this side and seeing your videos. So good stuff. Let's go over to Sasha. Sasha, what made you great last week?
Oh man, last week was a big one for me. I finally made the move over to Emeryville. So it was just it was a huge week, just prepping everything and getting everything over. Got a lot of help from my dad and some of my friends. So that was just a big transition for me. Just been a long time coming. So just stoked on the move and ready to get going in a new environment and new place. So just stoked.
You should hit up David, because David lives in Emeryville.
Yeah, no, we already been talking about it. So yeah, we're gonna probably kick it this week and check out each other's pads, and so I'm stoked for that.
Okay, very cool, my man. Let's go over to Kelly O'Gorman. Kelly O'Gorman, what made you great last week?
After working with this developer for the last, like, I don't know, 2 weeks, he had me submit an offer on a house that needs a shit ton of work in Lafayette. The seller is unreasonable and countered like way high, so we didn't get the offer accepted, but it was it's a welcome change of pace from working with families who have their heartstrings involved. Yeah. Whereas with the developer, it's like, okay, the numbers don't work, on to the next.
Totally.
So that was nice.
Good. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Let's go over to Jeff Phillips. Jeff, I haven't seen you in so long. It seems like. Silas, sit in your snack chair now. Sit down. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jeff Phillips, let's hear from you, my man. What made you great last week?
Last week, what made me great was my communication. So I always tell my clients it's best to stay proactive rather than reactive in this industry. And I just embodied that last week by keeping up with communication with the listing agent, got in touch with the title rep, just kind of ran through the scenarios of what's going on. Is there anything that could be a road bump? This is how we have to deal with this. This is how we have to deal with that. And then relayed all of that information back to my client, because they were really feeling overwhelmed, first-time home buyers. You know, that first week, there's a whole bunch of things being sent to them from lender, from title, from me. And so they started to feel a little overwhelmed. So we hopped on a Zoom, went through everything. We made sure by the end of it, she said, you know what, I feel a lot better. And I was like, yeah, this is how we're going to do it while we're in escrow week to week. We're going to take this week. We're going to reconvene and make sure we understand what everything happened. We're going to go next week and we're going to have another Zoom meeting just to understand how everything is going and what's going to be coming next. So she really appreciated that.
Love it. I love it. You guys will learn to be, and if you haven't already, master communicators in this game, right? This game is about being truly a master communicator, master negotiator. And so, Jeff, I love that. Kind of setting the stage as what's coming next. And that way people aren't caught off guard and know exactly what's going to happen each step of the way. So Jeff, love the communication piece of it. Patrick Nissim, or sorry, Mirnaz, you had your hand up. Do you want to chime in?
Yes, because I have to go to work.
Okay, there she
So,
is. There she is. Sorry,
uh,
the service was spotty where you were at.
yeah, it was very bad. I know that, but thank you. Yeah, I'm very grateful that after 4.5 months, I'm able to, with helping Cynthia, I'll be able to, get the listing signed. So I'm very excited to go to help a family. And also I'm grateful that I'm having such a great mentor, and being healthy. And yeah, that's all about it. And I'm excited.
Well, congratulations. Looking forward to seeing the new listing and helping you get it sold very, very fast. So congratulations, Mirnas.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Have a great day at work. And hopefully
Thank
it's
you.
just for the next 3 months that you have to go to work.
Oh, sure. I hope so. Thank you. Bye.
All right, let's go over to Patrick Nisson. Patrick Nisson, my man, what made you great last week?
I think it was just the persistence. Like yesterday or last week was kind of one of those, like, I just felt really depressed last week. Like it was just like probably one of my lowest weeks of my entire past 6 months, just kind of like, for many reasons, but just my willingness to just know that, this too shall pass, and to keep getting up. And then, like I'd get on a buyer's consultation and I'd find out, like, after the consultation, like, hey, we're not going to talk to any other agents. Like, you're our person. And it's like, whoa, okay. Little do they know, I'm working on it. And then, and they're like a $1.3 million buyer. So I'm like, all right, if I can get that closed, I'm gonna be in good shape. And just like, I could just tell, as sort of down as I was last week, I could also just tell that, like, all the stuff that I used to like double take on or doubt myself on, it just comes mad naturally now. Like I'll get, like, for example, I saw a listing come through that wasn't on Real Scout, and I was like, boom, this is perfect for a client. I know exactly why, because I'm doing the calculations in my head. Like, their max could possibly land this house. We submitted and we were only 10 grand short, which tells me that my instincts were correct and we just need to try again. And it's just, it was one of those weeks where it's just like, you have to battle yourself and push through. But, if you stay persistent, you'll make it to the next week, and, your brain will sort of build the calluses necessary to continue pushing on.
Man.
And then I got to deal with Kyle. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. If there's anyone that could lift the spirit of a human being, I'm sure it's Kyle, right?
Yeah. That was definitely a positive. It's hard to stay in a negative mind state when Kyle's like, what's up, buddy? We're gonna bibbity bop and then goobadoo. I'm like, I don't even know what that means, but I'm in, bro.
Hey, your brain will build the callus. Where'd you steal that from? That is nice.
That's
right?
That's just my Cynthia Plath diaries from last week.
Right. I love that. I love that. And a couple things to unpack here. So, and if you have children, you may have seen this. How many of you have seen the movie Luca? Please raise your hand. It is the cutest kids movie, but there's a phrase that they tell each other in this movie. Nicole Capel, you're a mom. What is the phrase in that movie that they say to each other when those voices start to come up?
Oh no, I guess I'm not paying attention like I should.
Okay. I did, and it meant so much to me. And then what do? I always correlate that to what we do. But they say Silencio Bruno. And the thing is, the Silencio Bruno means that those voices that are telling you no, the doubt, the fear, all those things that come up on this shoulder that are telling us, in the simplest terms in a fucking kid movie, Silencio Bruno, right? And so it's just like so crazy to think like, yeah, like I need to silence all that stuff. And so whatever your Silencio Bruno is, find that and have that voice with yourself. So, or that conversation with yourself. So good stuff, Patrick. I love it. I love it. Nicole, let's hear from you. What made you great last week? I know you have some great accomplishments in this last week.
Just being solution oriented. Last week, twice I reached out to Fast Post and they were supposed to put up my yard sign on Friday, never did. And so, I got to serve the client and come up with a solution. So had my own little coming soon sign, brought my kids, posted on social media, but just keeping it moving, coming up with a solution, not getting stuck. And yeah.
I love that. Like finding a way, right?
Yeah. Just
That's
make
right.
it work. Just keep moving.
That's what winners do. We find a way. What happened to your Triceratops? Is it your Triceratops? It broken. I'll fix it for you, okay? All right, he broke his book. All right, well, at least he's reading it. But I love that. And I saw your post. I thought it was super, super cute. So let's hear from PK. PK, I know you're driving right now, but PK, what made you great last week?
I actually just parked because I really wanted to focus on hearing everyone. And last week was hard not having coaching, but I'm so excited to be back this week. I had a really, really high week last week because of my clients closing, and I've never ever closed a deal in 8 days. So it was crazy. Every day was like I was doing a million things. But Friday we met, handed the keys, and they literally were like crying and hugging me and just like saying how much grateful they were to have met me. And I was like feeling the same way. And then I came home, and then it was a very dark, like depressing weekend, because I was like, holy shit, it was such a high ride. It was so exciting. It was so crazy busy. And then I had nothing. It was like quiet, and it was like I didn't have anything to do the weekend. And it was really difficult for me because I'm so used to go, 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 go. And the minute I have a moment to myself, it's all these like crazy, you know, thoughts that comes back in my head. So Silencio Bruno is like exactly what I did. I was just like, you know what, just enjoy this time. You fucking crushed it, and now it's time to take care of you and just like take a chill pill. Like it's fine. So it was a really good week, followed by a more therapeutical weekend, and now I'm ready for an amazing week. And yeah, good to hear everyone and get the energy from everyone else, and good to see you back, Elias.
Well, I'm really glad to be back. And I don't know if you're on the first part of the call, but talked about a guy that did a 2,500 mile bike ride, right? And so what you did is you closed that deal, and he talked about earning the downhills, right? You earned this downhill, right? If that means that you got to spend 2 days off with Suki, with your nephew, and do the things that you want to do, right? You earn that downhill, right? You earn that. And I know that we're in this high-paced, fast society. And you know, you and Jen are wired the same way. Because she's like, oh my God, my business is falling apart. I can't take 2 days off. What? 45 deals? What are you talking about, girl? Take some time off, right? It's just like, so you earn that downhill. So embrace that and say, you know what? How much does that mean to your nephew? How much does that mean to your man to be able to spend that time with you and like have that undivided attention? So I appreciate you sharing, and it's really, really good to be back. Martinique, I know you were driving earlier, first day of school for baby girl. Is it baby girl or baby boy?
Baby boy.
Baby boy. So what made you great last week?
2 contracts. One was, I was like, what? Yeah, and then my event, my husband and I threw our grand opening event on Saturday, and it was like, it just felt really good to be around good people. We had like a taco man come out. He was like killing the quesadillas and the tacos. Everybody was like, where'd you get this guy? Like, it was a good event. We had a kickball game and everybody came out. So yeah, just a great community event and a great week. So hopefully I can keep that momentum.
So, all right. So you, before you came to us, so just so you guys know, if you don't know, Martinique was the last agent to be brought on to Climb Real Estate. Climb Real Estate closed, and then you went to K-Dub, right?
I went to Berkshire.
Berkshire. Okay. And then how was your production over there?
0.
Okay. And why do you think it was 0?
No support. Not enough support.
And then here you are now, just year to date, how many deals have you done? Including with escrow.
Number 5.
Number 5, right? Let's fucking giant round of applause. You guys have seen Martinique, rain, snow, or shine, doing hair, eating cereal, in the road, at the gym, first day of school, fucking grinding, right?
Yep.
I got chills talking about you, Martinique. Chills, right? Because she shows up to everything.
Yeah.
And look what's happening in her production, right? She had all this energy. Berkshire didn't know how to put her in an environment to let her free and let her fly. And I'm so happy to see your production. So happy.
Thank you.
And you are absolutely crushing it. You deserve it. Super mom, doing everything that you have to do. And I love it. And great job having a successful event. So hats off to you and hats off to the family. So let's go to a couple more people before we begin to wrap up. I'm going to go over to Rosa Moreno and then we'll go over to Brittany. Rosa, what made you great last week?
Morning, everyone. Last week, I think what made me great was reaching out to my colleagues and asking for help to provide a more, what's it called? Well, we got into contract, and it was an FHA buyer, so getting them in contract was kind of challenging. So reaching out to my colleagues for their experience and, like their pointers definitely helped me out. And just going out on Patrick and everyone in PK too, like anxiety and stress and depression hits everybody. So definitely also tapping into like doing meditation helped me out a lot. So yeah, just, like pretty much using every tool in your kit is what made me better last week.
I love it. I love it. And same thing for you, Rosa. Silencio Bruno, right? I think I just like saying it.
I got a more vulgar one, but in Spanish, but yes, I do.
All right, well, hit us with yours. I want to hear yours.
No. I'll write it down, maybe.
Put it in the chat. All right, well, I'm glad that you're feeling good today, and I love that. Brittany, let's hear from you. What made you great last week?
So I got to write my first offer, which was a great learning experience. This was the first buyer client that I got from Op City. So I was going to Sacramento like 2 weeks in a row, looked at places. He found one that he really, really liked. It was like a half-plex, newly renovated, like really nice inside. So he fell in love with it, went home, wrote the offer. And then like 2 days later, the agent finally gave me an answer and he said, no, we accepted a higher offer. Like, sorry, it didn't work out. So then I had to break the news to my client. He got a little emotional and he's like, oh, well, it was our first offer that we wrote. He doesn't know it was my first offer that I ever wrote. He still doesn't know, but he doesn't need to know that. But then I had to like build his confidence up. It was a little bit of a roller coaster because he has FHA loans. So he's like, well, if they didn't accept it because the other guy had conventional, he's like, do I even have a chance with my FHA like moving forward? So I had to like build his confidence and reassure him, like, you still have a chance. We just have to be the highest and best offer and put in a strong offer. So we'll just get back out there and keep looking. So he agreed. We were going to plan on going the following weekend to go look again. And then the next day after that, the agent called me back and said the other buyer ended up backing out and got cold feet. So they accepted our offer. So that was great.
And that's your first deal, right?
Yeah, the first offer I've ever even wrote. So it was exciting, but definitely a roller coaster and learning experience.
But a key takeaway that from something you just said, you're still new in this game. You're like, well, I had to keep him motivated, right? And keep that as a really, really great lesson that you've learned here, Brittany, is that you will become a great coach to your clients, right? And it seems like you were able to do that in this transaction. We have to coach them. We have to be their ring person or their ring man or woman. Give them their mouthpiece, push them back into the ring, give them some water. So Brittany, way to keep your head in the game and way to keep them in the game and win for your clients. So congratulations. Let's give Brittany and Christina a giant round of applause for getting their first contract. Mirna's got her first, signed listed agreement. This is big, big, big news. So I love it. We'll talk more about that in the meeting tomorrow. Let's go over to Sharon. Sharon, let's go over to you, and then we will start to wrap everything up. So Sharon, what made you great last week?
What made me great last week, and Pamela, she's on here, she's gonna laugh at me, is that after, I don't know how many months, I finally signed on with EXP. Ha ha. Well, it came fast. Let me make that clear. So, yeah, I was up a little after midnight on Saturday morning, filling in the forms that Molly sent me, and I've done all the, I've pretty much got everything. I'm still here at Redfin, about to give my notice, and I am just going to have to take the leap at the end of the month and make it happen.
Well, partner up with Alyssa if you need help, having that conversation with your brokerage. But Sharon, it's really nice to have you. Love that you've made the choice to come here. I think that you have a great support system. Having Pamela with her wealth of knowledge, experience in this industry, I think this is going to be a great environment for you. So welcome.
Thank you.
Guys,
real
Go ahead.
quick, I just private chatted Martinique because she had just come on at Berkshire while I was there. And then like within about maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I think after she really came on, I left. So yeah, it was good to hear how well she's doing now here on Team Fast.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, energy and success breeds success, and look at what's going on around us. So super, super stoked for you guys. So what I want you to do today is I want you to write down your intentions for the week. I know we say this all the time, but I am a believer in repetition is the mother of all skill. Write down your goals for this week. What are you committed to doing every single day in order to reach that small goal? Put that on your calendar of the time that you're going to write down your goals, and do that every Monday. I want this to be a practice every single Monday. So week by week, you can look back and see what you have accomplished. So you guys, I love having this conversation today. I heard some really, really great insights of what you believe made you great this past week. And so I want to go around the room really quick. I want to hear a couple key takeaways from some people that didn't have a chance to speak. So we want to hear from Jay. Jay, what were some of your key takeaways from today's sesh?
Thanks, Colin. I was actually going to share one of my wins and then answer your question.
Yeah.
I did 2 open houses back to back, and both went an hour over time. And I stayed there for the clients to just be present with them. On the first open house, I had a client come in who actually happened to be represented by someone on our team, Weston. And she was so over the moon, moving from out of state, from the East Coast, needed a place very soon, getting a new job, and was just so amazed by the place. We sat down, Weston came, we all had a little powwow for like 40 minutes, just talking about historical racism, talking about what it took to get to the place where people of color are able to find a competitive edge in the market, and just created a real sense of community. And like, look, you're not even my client. It doesn't matter. We're here for each other. This is Team Fast. We're one big family, and we work to get things done. That's who we are. She straight up gave me a job offer at UC Berkeley after our conversation.
Wow. I love it, Jay. I love it.
It was amazing. It was just being relentless. It's the energy behind that is showing up, doing what it takes. If someone's like, look, I need an extra hour at this property, make sure it's okay with the listing agent and doing it. Yeah. What I heard from everyone today was exactly the same thing. Is this is a relentless team. People get everything thrown out at them, from the great to the not so great. And yet we all have each other's backs. We all identify and empathize with those experiences. And we don't let each other down. We hold ourselves accountable, like those standards are giving to us for every Monday morning. And just to the simple of like, yo, we care, talk it out, and it's going to always get better.
Love it, Jay. I love your insight. Absolutely love it all the time. Amy, let's go over to you. Takeaways from today's session. Good to see your smiling face.
Yay, it's great to see you too. I've been kind of out. I've been really sick, so I've been really out of it. It's not COVID. It's just some horrible, I don't know, some horrible thing.
Yeah, I have the same horrible thing.
Yeah, so it's so good to get back and to see you, Elias. And I mean, I was just in tears of joy for you. I'm just so happy. And just to get reoriented today with coaching, it's like, this is our great jump off point. You know, I've got my goals for the week. I've got the reminder not to think negatively, to just put those things aside. I don't know what diga quiero escuchar means, but I'm going to look it up. And you know, kind of refocusing. Sometimes I feel like I get my life gets in the way of my goals. And it's like, I have so many things I'm working on. I'm like, wait, I'm a real estate agent. Maybe I should focus a little bit on that. So This is just a great focusing point for my week. And I really appreciate all of you. And thank you, Elias.
Love it. I love it. Thank you, Amy. And hopefully you feel better very soon. Let's have Ryan close it out. So Ryan Combs, take us off the field. What were some of your takeaways from today's session, and take us off the field, my man?
I think for today, my takeaways were, we're all going to have different levels of wins. Some small wins, some big wins, some big moments of greatness, some smaller than others. But as long as we're making progress, that's the goal at the end of the day. As long as when we write our goals down on Monday, we inch towards accomplishing them on Friday, that's a victory in itself. So It's a Monday. Everybody have a great day. Have a productive day. Write those goals down. Link arms with someone. Link arms with someone. Use the team to your advantage, because we can go a lot further together than by ourselves. So love the squad, love the team, love y'all, and hope to see some of you guys in the office soon.
I love that. Link arms with somebody. I think that is amazing advice. And Ryan, if you want, you can drop it in the channel below, or we can do that next week. But he has an accountability contract with me. He wrote it out. You guys can get that contract from Atomic Habits, and he filled it in with things that that really spoke to him. And so good stuff, Ryan. Him and I are meeting every single Monday for 30-minute coaching session just to review that contract. Where are you at? What did you accomplish? And so really stoked to see where he's at. And yeah, you guys, I love that. Link arms. Remember that saying, Silencio Bruno. Whatever that conversation you have to have with yourself, have it, because you're going to get all kinds of voices and doubts and fears that come up. You have to find ways to overcome that. So you guys, I cannot tell you how excited I am to be back. Life-changing trip. More information to come on our journey and this part of fatherhood, but I'm super happy, and thank you guys for allowing me to share my story. Let's go out there and own our week. See you at tomorrow's meeting. Thank you for being who you guys are, and have a wonderful day. See you guys soon.